There is a major political development unfolding beneath the surface of Nigeria's political space. And if it unfolds, it will redefine the entire 2027 general elections. Fresh reports suggest that Musa Kwankwaso has agreed in principle to serve as the vice presidential running mate to Peter Obi. This is not just another rumor in Nigeria's political cycle. It is a signal of something much deeper, a potential realignment of opposition forces that have until now operated in isolation. From what I see, this move did not happen overnight. It comes after failed negotiations between Kwankwaso and the ruling All Progressive Congress, where he reportedly sought a vice presidential slot but did not secure the concession. That rejection appears to have pushed him toward a broader coalition conversation. One that is now centered around unity rather than individual ambition. At the heart of this discussion is a growing realization among opposition figures that fragmentation cost them dearly in 2023.
They say they have 31 governors. Why are they afraid? In the last election, Peter Obi won in 6 states where you have APC sitting governors. Atiku Abubakar won in 8 states where there were APC sitting governors. In fact, 12 governors contested for the Senate, only 3 won. And all the ones following the landlord of Abuja, Yeson Wike, all of them lost Senate. We must all decide to become change agents to make sure that we chase Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his family out of the villa May 29th, 2027, including those in the boys' quarters.
Now, they seem more willing to compromise, negotiate, and align for a singular goal. The question is no longer whether talks are happening, but how far they are willing to go to make this alliance a reality.
We want to actually understand. We want to understand if you see this political party with all the leadership crisis and everything as capable of allowing you to, seek an elective position in the next election.
Of course, yes. What we're trying to do in ATC is to bring together competences, bring together capacities, bring together people of compassion. Like you heard John Chifoyegu said, even if yesterday they were not part of this, they're not today part of this. To be able to ensure that the incoming government forms a government that cares for Nigeria. And that's why in my own little conversation, I use figures to enumerate their circumstances. So if you're told that it's a terrorized country, you know our ranking yesterday, and you know our ranking today. If you're told we are in poverty, you know our ranking yesterday, and you know where we are today. If you're told we are going through other difficulties, it's measurable. I believe that if you must tell me things are wrong, or you want to tell people things are wrong, you must show it in terms of figures.
So, Your Excellency, for all this to come true, you really need a platform. And with the leadership crisis bedeviling the party at this time, do you think it's possible?
I don't think there's leadership crisis bedeviling the party. It is being instigated in all the parties, not just this one, whether it's in PDP, in ADC, in Labour, we are left to come into this one because we're chasing me. In MPP, where Kwankwaso left, it's the same thing. They don't want opposition because they have run the country aground and want to ensure that everything collapses completely. And we cannot allow it because anarchy consumes everybody. So we need to bring back the country, unite it, ensure that the country functions for everybody. All we want in ADC is to have a country where a child of nobody can be somebody without knowing anybody. Create the level playing field, and that's what we want to do.
And Your Excellency, a lot of your teaming supporters across the country have been, willing to ask you, are you going to run as a presidential candidate on this party?
Definitely. I'm running as a presidential candidate.
So you are going to run?
And I've always said it. I will change this country.
The 2023 numbers that should worry Tinubu. If you look beyond the headlines and focus on the date, the implications become even more serious for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the 2023 general elections, the combined votes of Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso significantly outweigh Tinubu's total.
They say they have 31 governors. Why are they afraid? In the last election, Peter Obi won in 6 states where you have APC sitting governors. Atiku Abubakar won in 8 states where there were APC sitting governors. In fact, 12 governors contested for the Senate, only 3 won.
The only reason that did not translate into victory was because those votes were divided across 3 major opposition platforms. This is where the real concern begins for the ruling party. If these political heavyweights succeed in forming a major or even a strategic alliance going into 2027, they will not just be contesting an election, they will be consolidating a voter base that has already proven to be numerically stronger when combined. From analysis, elections in Nigeria are not just about popularity, they are about coalition building, regional balancing, and strategic partnerships. Kwankwaso brings a strong northern grassroots structure.
Jama'a dawakin kudu, salamu alaikum. Muna godiya, muna muku godiya kwarai, kuma yan dawakin kudu ina son ba ku sako. Muna da labari an kawo rajista daga Abuja, Butulawa an ce su rubuta sunansu da na babansu. Idan kun je ku samu dan wani guri da waya, ku rinka ɗaukar hoton Butulawa domin nan gaba mu gansu, duniya ba ta gansu.
Especially in Kano and parts of the northeast, Obi commands a loyal and energized base in the southeast and significant urban youth support nationwide.
Obi is coming. Hey, let's go.
Atiku, on the other hand, still holds influence across the northeast and among established political networks. When you begin to connect these dots, you start to see a map that could challenge the current political dominance of the ruling party. The real battle ahead of 2027 is strategy, not just popularity. However, it is important to be realistic. Forming a coalition is one thing, sustaining is another. Nigeria political history is filled with alliances that collapse under the weight of ego, mistrust, and conflicting interests. For this potential Obi Kwankwaso ticket to work, there must be a clear agreement on power sharing, policy direction, and campaign structure. And then there is a bigger question of where Atiku fits into all this. Will he step aside for a unified ticket, or will his own ambition create another layer of division? This is where the opposition must be careful, because any crack in their unity automatically strengthens Tinubu's position. On the other side, Tinubu is not just a newcomer to political warfare. He understands coalition better than most and has built a reputation for strategic maneuvering. The ruling party will not sit back and watch this alliance grow unchecked. There will be counter moves, negotiation, and possibly attempts to weaken the coalition before it fully matures. So while the development may look like a major problem for Tinubu on the surface, the real outcome will depend on how disciplined and coordinated the opposition can be in the coming months. From where I stand, 2027 is already shaping up to be less about individual candidates and more about who can build the strongest, most stable political structure. And if this Obi Kwankwaso alignment becomes real, then Nigeria could be heading into one of the most competitive elections in its democratic history.